Hello, I'm Cindy and I'm in my Dare to Be Artsy studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable little backpack. It's cute. It's going to hold note cards, but it also holds a little gift card right up front. So let's get started. Our Dare to Be Artsy backpack comes with 12 dies. On the inside you're going to find the backpack pieces are listed above and they're labeled. And it's going to tell you exactly how many pieces of paper to cut from each die. On the back of the packaging, you're going to find detailed instructions and also an illustration to help it make it easier to put together. Now let's get started. You're going to take the back piece and you're going to cut out two separate pieces of paper. One of them, you're going to actually use these tick marks to trim off one side. That's going to become the front of the packaging of the backpack. You're going to fold down where it's scored. Each piece is going to have a rectangle area. On the shorter piece, you're putting the adhesive, and that part is going to attach to the longer piece in the same rectangle space. So just score that, slide it together. This is going to create one long panel. That creates the main part of your backpack. Now just score it really good. You're going to line up, just make sure it's lined up along the edges, just in case you were off a little bit when you're doing your adhesive. So now you're going to see you have a base, you have a front panel, and a back panel. Now we're going to take the flap. You'll notice this has some score lines, a group of 5. Those you're going to lightly fold. So I don't want you to use a bone folder for this area. Then the bottom piece, go ahead and use a bone folder for that. So go ahead and score that really nice. Now we're going to put some adhesive right along that edge. This piece is then going to be attached to the back taller panel. Just that 1/2 inch right along that edge. All right. Now you've got the flap to your backpack. Isn't that looking fun? Okay, so now the next part are the side panels. Now with this, it's important to look at you're going to have your piece of paper. You're going to cut out one side with the paper and then take a piece and flip it over, because you need it to be the reverse of the first side panel. It'll make sense later. Okay, you're going to put some adhesive on the flaps where they're indicated, and you'll notice now that these are opposite sides, because each of these side panels has a little wing along the edge. That's what the straps are going to attach to. And you see how we're going to tuck in the flaps with the wing is going to tuck in underneath the back panel, and the flaps with the adhesive are going to be on top. So I'm going to fold that back, and I'm using score tape. I just think it's when you're doing something that's going to be open and shut a lot, I like score tape. I think it's a stronger adhesive, a stronger hold. So you notice I'm adhering the inside flaps to the inside of the backpack, but I'm tucking that little wing underneath. It also helps line it up and hold it in place. So I'm just going to attach that. And there you go. So there's the beginning of your side panels. No, we're not going to attach the whole thing yet. So let's do some of the outside pieces first. Now we're going to attach this little latch onto the flap. I only want adhesive in that top center area. Now I'm going to look for the score lines. See the bottom score line right here? I'm going to attach this latch to the center just below that score line. So I'm kind of looking for the center of my flap. Okay, and just make a little mark. Sometimes I just eyeball it. And then I'm going to attach this just below that score line, right in the center. There you go. That's the latch to the backpack. Now we're going to take the little die labeled with the H and cut another piece of paper out. This is going to be our little band. Now this is what the latch is going to tuck into. So flip your paper over. We're working from the outside of the backpack. You're going to need your ruler again. Measure 2 inches from the edge, 2 inches up. Then you're going to take your little strap, the little band, line it along that 2-inch mark and center it left and right. Then you're going to take your pen and mark where the little holes are. Now take your tool and poke those little holes. This is going to be where we're going to attach the little brads that are going to hold the band in place so the latch can tuck into that area. Now we're going to take 2 little brads. I chose yellow because I thought they would be a nice contrast to the black. I'm going to line up the holes, go ahead and put the brads in. Now the paper that we're using is from our Dare to be Artsy Honey Blooms collection. You'll see it's double-sided. All of our papers go really well together. And if you didn't already know, when we design our collections of paper, we have stamps and dies that match, and many of the dies will actually cut the images right out of the paper as well. So it really makes for a great collection. Now we'll finish here with these brads. That makes a great little latch or a little loop for the latch to hold in to close your backpack. Okay, so now let's do the side panels. Make sure they have a good crease. You have flaps already scored. And then I already put the adhesive on the sides. Again, I used the score tape. Feel free to use whatever favorite adhesive you have. We're going to start in the bottom corner and line up the base of the backpack with the edge, making sure that the edges are right up next to each other. Now the next corner. All right. Now let's take the other score tape off. And again, I'm just making sure that the edges are lined up so the box or backpack is squared up. And one more side. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned this backpack will hold A2 size cards perfectly, or little gifts. And then the latch has a little half circle. If you open it up just a little bit, it will slide under the little band and it will hook so it stays closed. All right, so right now you have a box. So let's decorate it some more. This is the little pocket, and it's already got the scores on it. So you're going to go ahead and fold those up. I'd use the bone folder for this. So it actually has about 1/4 of an inch width to it, so it'll stand out. It makes it easier for a gift card to fit in, and easier to pull it out of the pocket. So you're just squaring this up with your bone folder. And you could attach this before you put the side panels on, which probably would maybe actually be a little bit easier, but that's okay. We've already got the backpack made. This piece is used to decorate the front. Now you could leave this off, but I think it's kind of fun, and I like to pull that black in again with this paper line. So I just glued that on the front. And now you're going to take your adhesive and put it on the flaps. Again, score tape or glue. I use score tape again. And you're just going to put it on the 3 sides. Again, this fits a gift card perfectly. And the 3rd side. Now we're just about ready to put the pocket on the outside of the backpack. This is just going to make such a fun gift for somebody. So I'm going to square this up as I'm putting it on the front of the backpack, about 1/2 inch from the bottom. I just kind of eyeball it and center it right up. I'm going to open this up and use my bone folder to kind of make sure that that adhesive is down flat. Again, you could put this pocket on before you close up the sides. Then you could lay the piece down flat on the table, which might actually work a little bit better than what I just did. But it's on, looks great. Again, you just slide the little latch through and it hooks on that little panel. Now the back, you're going to take the black straps that you cut out. You cut 2 of them out of this piece. And on the piece, there was a little score line. You're going to fold that up, and I put adhesive, again, score tape. I put adhesive on that bottom piece. I'm going to slide it through the little strip that's cut out of the flaps and close it. Glue it or tape it. You just want to seal it really nicely. Again, this is going to become the straps to your backpack. And you'll notice we designed it so that they kind of go up in an angle. Now you take the small piece and you're going to kind of curve it. You're going to put some adhesive at the top back of the backpack, kind of right along that 1/2 inch green side piece. This is what the top hook of the backpack is going to be attached to, as well as the other sides of the straps. So we're just going to take the score tape piece off. You're going to take that little piece and bend it so just the ends are sitting side by side along that tape. This is right in the center of the top part of the backpack. Now see how that creates a nice loop? Now you're going to take some more adhesive and put it on top of that. We're layering the straps on top of the little loop. Don't worry, this isn't going to show later because we have a special piece to put on top of that. Okay, so let's take the score tape stuff off. You're going to take your straps and fold them up and around. Now this time I'm angling the black strap. You see how it's angled? The little loop was more straight up and down, and these straps are more at an angle. Again, it looks a little funny now, but don't worry because we're going to cover that up. The next piece that we're using is labeled F, and it is the back seal. So you're going to put some adhesive on this. And again, I told you this was going to look better because we're going to use this seal to cover up the straps. We're going to place it right over all of those little layers. That just really finishes off the back of the backpack. Now there is another piece in your kit, and it's this square piece. Now this is kind of for extra decoration. So you can cut a piece out of paper out with that piece, and instead of leaving the back plain, you can insert this extra little decorative piece of paper. But I really like the gray paper that we're using on the back, and I didn't really want to cover that up. So I'm just going to leave the extra piece off. Now we're going to go to the side panels. So this is another extra piece. Again, you can decorate the sides or you can leave it off. Since I'm leaving the back simple, I wanted to go ahead and add a little bit more to the side panels. So I just used the same paper as the flap. And remember, when you cut this piece out, you're going to cut it out twice, but you have to flip the paper over for the second piece because there's an angle at the top that's opposite. So they have to be in opposite directions. So make sure you flip the paper over when you cut the second piece of paper out. So we're just attaching this. It just kind of finishes off the edges. I hope you'll have fun getting artsy with your backpack and filling it with some fun gifts, note cards, and even a gift card. I hope this video was helpful for you. Have a great day.